Give me some teachers who had an impact on you, or you just have some good memories of.
Well, since I only had the two, but, okay, so Elizabeth Jackson, the first, and they were always nice, and their punishment if you got in trouble was mainly just stay in for recess or write. And then we had Miss Carpenter. She was always really nice. And but our principal, Mr. Gunther, I was scared of him because he had bus duty, and sometimes if it was raining they would keep you in. And I was scared of him because he seemed a lot more stern, and him being a male teacher versus the other two ladies. Yeah. But I didn't have any other teachers there at Jackson. The only other adults were the ladies in the lunchroom. And I don't really remember.
And Mr. Lane, the custodian.
Yes, but I don't have a real big memory of him.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Was that IA Lane? Okay.
Could I say something? Yeah. He's the only person I've ever known in my life that nobody called by his first name. People in the church didn't call him by his first name. They called him Mr. Lane. Mm-hmm. His wife called him Ike.
Yeah.
And nobody else ever. Do you recall that?
I recall it the way you do.
Everybody recalled him Mr. Lane. The only person I've ever known that nobody called by their first name.
Mm-hmm. Hadn't thought about that.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
I think that's pretty unique as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
It is.
Teachers who had an impact on you.
Well, Mrs. Arp, Naomi Arp, she had a really great impact on me. Having been raised in a small little community, Piney, you know, our world was very small, and she expanded my world in lots of ways, and I'll share two of those. One was she was very active in lots of things, but she was probably working on an advanced degree at the time. I was in the 8th grade, and she was taking a class at UT, and I think it was literature or something like that. And so it was in the summer, and one of her assignments was to write a play and have it performed. So she wrote a play about the first 4 girls to attend the University of Tennessee. And she asked 4 of us little Piney girls to act out the parts of the play. And so she asked me and Sally Ritchie, Donna Kerr, and Gail Williams. So she came by, took us to the University of Tennessee to perform this little play. We memorized our parts. We thought we were in high cotton because I'm sure none of us had ever even seen the University of Tennessee. So she expanded my world in that way a lot. And there were some other ways too. Mm-hmm. She was really a good teacher. And just gave us experiences we would not have had otherwise. Several other I could share, but I'll share this one more. When she left Jackson School, it was the year my class left Jackson School. The year was 62, and it was our last year there at 8th grade. I think there were maybe 14 people in our class. There were 4 girls, me, June Turpin, Mary Jane Lawson, and Faye Henry. Probably about 10 boys, something like that. So when we left the elementary school to go to high school, Mrs. Arp did too, and left to the high school to begin her teaching career there. So after our 4 years there at school, at high school, we graduated. Mrs. Arp gave each of her Piney kids, Jackson kids, a gift, a graduation gift. I don't know what she gave the boys, but she gave the girls a little charm bracelet with a little owl with a cap and gown. And I have mine. After 60-something years.
Oh my gosh.
This is my charm bracelet that she had. And last night, I don't wear it every day, of course, but I've just kept it all these years because it's just, she was a special person in my life. And so last night as I was thinking about, well, what are some memories that I have? I remembered my little bracelet. Yes. So I thought, I don't even know if I can find it, but I did. I had it in my jewelry box. And so it's just a memory of her, a reminder of her, and how much she enhanced my life.
Well, that reminds me of something that I do when you said that. Miss Carpenter, My first love, I've been a nurse for 36 years, retired, but my first love was art. And when we left, Miss Carpenter actually drove to my house and gave me a book of art and drawings and things with the Lord's story in it. And I still have that book, and she wrote a little insignia about me, about my art, and I still have that, and that meant a lot to me.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't get to pursue art as a career, because back then you're either a teacher, but all of my family side are teachers, but I was the rebel and went to go on to nursing school. But yes, she did impact me with my art by giving me that book, and I still have that.
And of course, I did become an elementary school teacher, and so I can look back on many ways, you know, they mentored me, especially Mrs.
Sure.
Art.
Miss Alice Harrison was my first grade teacher, who later became one of my dear friends. She kind of took, she actually wrote on my permanent record I was spoiled. But when I became principal of the high school, I accessed my record. I gave her a heck of a hard time about putting in my permanent record that I was spoiled.
That's back when they held those permanent records over our head.
Yeah, we had actual grade cards.
And I didn't want to go to school when I started. I was spoiled. I was spoiled. But I had her in first grade, and she was just, as I could recall, she was terrific. She did not have a degree, I don't think. I think she later went back. I know she later went back and got a degree and wound up teaching. But she became a real special person to me. When I was going through career ladder, I had a scheduled visit going through career ladder, and she was one of my events. And she was walking home the night before. They let her out at the end of the driveway. You know, they had about a mile long driveway. And she fell and broke her wrist and wouldn't go to the hospital until she did the interview that I had with her the next morning. So, you know, she became really special to me. And then Miss Jackson came when I was in second grade. And I decided I was going to college because Miss Jackson had. I'd never heard of college, you know, because she had. So that, and then Miss Art was my 7th and 8th grade teacher. I think maybe that I might have been the second person from Jackson to graduate from college. I think Don Jackman, Miss Jackson's son by her previous married, his name was Jackman, and he got a degree in chemistry from Maryville College and then became a PhD in chemistry and taught for years at Pfeiffer College. But I think maybe I was the second person who left Jackson to ever get it.
Because,
Get it
there were
degree.
many in
Well,
the community.
See, prior to when I was in 8th grade, I bet you half of them didn't go to high school. Oh yeah, many of them just
Went straight to the farm.
Went back to the farm. Yeah, or joined the army. Once they were old enough. And we had lots of people in 8th grade who were 15 years old. You know, just country guys, farm guys. But
Wonderful people.
Oh,
I mean, I just remember
terrific.
the people that I went to school with being such good people, and their parents were good people. We were fortunate to be raised in a little place like Piney.
Yeah.
I think my class, and we had 12 or 13, I don't remember. I think it was the first class where everybody started high school. I believe. I don't have data for that.